All right. So, hello guys.
Hello.
Uh, so today we are going to discuss about what is the function of every physical parts inside computer, or maybe any properties of the physical parts inside the computer. So, what do you guys know about physical parts? Which parts you guys know? May I know?
Yes,
Motherboard
Yes, motherboard. We got one,
RAM
and then
maybe. RAM.
and the
RAM,
power supply that
the power
powers all the
supply.
components of PC,
All right. So
CPU
what
cooler.
else?
Um, Storage.
I think yes.
Hard drive,
For
you
the
mean?
storage, we have two, right? We have
Um,
HDD and SDD. We got five right here, and then we got, of course, the CPU, right? The CPU, then the graphic card, and the CPU cooler. Yes, eight. All of them, eight. So, I think I'm just. What do you guys know about CPU? Do you guys know about the processor? Or maybe if you guys don't know, I can explain a bit.
Yeah, sure.
yes.
The central
Yes,
control
sure.
of every single personal
Um,
computer.
Yeah,
yes, it's like the brain, right?
the brain of the
The brain of
computer,
the
right?
computer.
Yes. So,
Yeah, that make all the calculations we need in computer.
yep. So, may I explain a bit about the processor,
Yes,
alright?
yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, basically, processor is a chip, it's a silicon chip that can execute the computer programs. So, basically, it works like our brain lah. It sends the information to every parts. Yeah, it's like sending the every data to the every parts of the computer. So this CPU is located uh, in a special socket on the motherboard. Okay, so let me show you the picture. The picture of processor real quick. Let me show. Wait. Hmm, where is it? Where is it? Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
can see
Yes.
this.
So basically, this is the processor, the brain of the computer. Yes, this is how it looks like, and it has so many generation based on the advancement in our future lah, in right now. Yes. So that one is for the processor. Uh, so as I said just now, there is advancements of the processor uh, from year to year. So basically, how they make the advancements in processor is they making the transistor smaller and smaller. So why they do this? So it is because when so they
The
believe
smaller the
that
better. And
what
more nothing. I accidentally.
uh, uh
Accidentally.
so basically it will make an improvement to the CPU speed. CPU is basically the processor lah. So it's making the brain to think faster lah.
More
For
functional,
the
you mean?
yeah. So basically the processor in our market right now has two different brand, like the famous lah, the famous brand. We got Ryzen and Intel. Okay, so there is only two the popular processor lah. So as so let me show you the most famous processor nowadays. AMD Ryzen 9. Let me show you real quick. Wait. You guys see this? You guys can see,
you
right?
can see this.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one is the latest one brought by the AMD, the Ryzen 9. The processor that compatible and has a better better performance lah for gaming and video editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'm just
Mine
gonna
is just
show.
7.
What?
Mine is 7.
Oh, yours is 7 only.
Yeah.
7 is already great lah for me.
That's good. I
It's
think
already good. Yes.
already good.
I'm the only one who is Intel fan right here, or what?
What?
I'm an Intel fan actually, not Ryzen.
Oh,
Ryzen fan.
yes. Oh, yeah. Intel fan.
Yep, I'm an Intel
Oh,
fan. Right,
nice,
man.
nice. I also got
Ah,
Intel lah
two-
for my
two
laptop. I got
drivers.
Intel 5 only, i5. Yes.
I guess it's more famous. It's the only
Yeah,
famous
yeah.
laptop.
Yeah, Ryzen is for more like for gaming lah.
Mm,
Yes.
Game.
Mm-mm. So I think we move on to. Anyone want to share about motherboard or maybe RAM, maybe HDD, anything? Anyone wants to share first? Anyone wants to?
Maybe let me try.
Yes. Okay,
Let me
Varen, go on.
I'm the HDD and SDD department
Oh, nice.
section.
Okay, you go first.
So let's start for me now. Okay, for starters, do you guys actually know what HDD and SSD actually mean in a full name?
Nope.
Just in case.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess it's
I
solid
only
state
know that.
drive.
I only know that they just keep the storage here. That's all. I only know
Okay,
about that.
let me try. I guess
Okay.
I want to
Okay.
try. Can I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Sure.
think SSD stands for solid state drive, right?
Well, and how about HDD? H1.
H hard disk, maybe.
Yeah, correct.
Damn. Nice one. I'm sure.
So the HDD
Oh my
is
gosh.
Yes,
listed
correct.
D. It is hard disk drive. Well,
Okay.
technically, these two things are actually the same thing, which are hard disks. That's why they also share the drive name.
I see.
Technically, they have some. They're technically. Let me explain why they are different lah. In terms of hard disks, they are pretty much the early version of the hard disk, which uses physical components to operate it. Not the motherboard thingy not the motherboard like interface in your computer. It is just a bunch of metal stuff. And it technically operates with a circular disk named platter, which stores data inside.
Oh,
But I suppose I will need to give you guys a photo of it first, because it will be very hard to explain. Hold on,
all right.
Yes.
No problem.
All right. HDD. Let me try. Can I present a window? No. Hold on. I'm a tab of HDD share. Can you see it?
Yes. Yes, we
Yes.
can see it.
It technically looks like this in the diagram. In terms of diagram, if you look at, you see the circular thingy.
Yes.
It is the disk or platter lah. According to the Wikipedia, it is platter.
Oh.
Hold on, where's my script? All right, and then this platter will always spin around when it is working, and then there will be some sort of read and write head located at just a little tiny distance between the disk, in which there is some sort of magnetic properties that can what I can say read read or overwrite data into the disk. It's quite. It is the theory is quite hard to understand lah. But whatever you need to know is when a disk spins very fast, spin in a very fast speed, and the read and write head is near it, it will somehow produce a phenomenon that it was used to store data, electric data lah.
You see?
I
And
see.
then the head actually is controlled by the actuator. Do you see it?
Yeah.
This thing actually
Yes.
controls how the arm is going to position and at, because at times you can't just rely on one location just to read some data lah. And pretty much it then the whole data is connected via those ports. See those ports? These are pretty much
Yeah.
The
you can
power
just say they're
port, the
highway.
data cable
Yeah.
port, all of it.
Yeah, they're pretty much the highway tolls, you can just assume. Now let's go to SSD, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ron. Actually, well, I think we just take through the previous one. Okay. For SSD, oh, why did this work? Oh, okay, do you see the picture change?
Not
Alright.
actually.
No.
Technic-
Not yet.
Technically,
Shows HDD. From
Yeah.
SD.
I'm supposed to let you guys compare these two. Now you see it's quite a lot of difference between SSD and HDD, right?
Yes.
It is now pretty
Yeah.
much just like your all motherboard, all electronic components only, or integrated circuits. Technically, there will be a flash memory, non-flash memory card inserted in the board, which is the main storage area. They also have a small controller chip that controls all the activity that the data is, like when to send the data to the computer, when to receive the data, or when to delete the data, or when to copy the data. It pretty much just like the brain in technically just like a brain in the second brain lah. You can just consider it is computer's second most important brain.
See.
And then at times, some SSDs will have a cache, a chip, or a DRAM, dynamic random access memory, but not the bigger RAM. It is own smaller RAM, not enough for your own gaming or whatever. It just used to temporarily store some memory that it may be used when it is working, that only works when the computer is on, which means the cache will give some memory space for the SSD to operate when the computer is on. Also, lastly, why it doesn't show in the picture, some SSD models will have batteries. This is in case the computer unexpectedly shuts down to prevent data loss.
Oh, there is a
Okay.
battery inside SSD.
Yes, at some models only.
Oh, some models only. Wow.
Technically, if your SSD is quite expensive, then it's possible that there is a battery inside.
I see.
All right.
Right. So, I think we have talked about CPU, HDD, and SSD. Sorry, my bad. So,
Yes.
I think we can talk about RAM next. Then yes, we can talk about RAM.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I think I want to take the lead to discuss
Alright.
about the RAM, right?
Go on, Amsha.
Yes. Have you guys heard about RAM or its long name?
RAM,
Random
access
access
memory.
memory. Oh,
Yes,
Yes.
I think that
yes.
one.
Yusuf. Random
At
access
my own
memory.
RAM, I want at least 8 GB of RAM. Unfortunately,
HDD.
Yes.
that's a lot of
Yes.
too less. for
RAM,
my
right?
laptop. All right, let's continue.
Yes. About RAM. How the function of it, right?
Mm.
Basically, it's like it is called temporary storage. Yeah. It gives the application a place to store and access the data on a short-term basis. As um, I will give you an example. When you load the game, right, it will display that it will load data, right? It will display
Yes.
load
You
data.
mean the all the process of data is going to be stored in the memory until
Yes.
we
Yes. But RAM, they will access the SSD, right? And then they will copy like a little bit of data from the SSD. The data is that the frequently used by the application. So when you open the game, it will show the processing data, right? And that is
Yes.
the data that is copied by the SSD to the RAM. So about RAM, where is it located? Anyone?
Oh,
Anyone? Take a
Uh,
guess.
should be on motherboard, I guess.
could be yes.
Yes,
I think I would
yes.
say on
Kiran.
the motherboard also.
Yes, Kiran and Faris. It is located on the motherboard,
Mm-mm.
which is adjacent to the CPU socket, right? Let me show you where is it.
Yeah, can you show us? Nice, nice.
Can you see?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we can
Yes,
see the screen.
yes, right. So as you can see, right, I will take this picture as an example. Um, Wait, So this one, right? As you can see, this part, the blue part is DRAM memory slot.
Oh, the blue one lah. So we put the
Yes,
RAM
it
inside it.
is. Yes,
We
it is
attach to it
adjacent to
lah.
the.
Okay, okay.
Yes, we attach to it.
Hmm.
There is various kind of brand, right? Um, Such as Ryzen, the famous one,
Yep.
Samsung, HyperX, Kingston, and etc. and others.
Yep.
There's
Hmm?
there's a lot. There's a lot of type of RAM. There's a lot of type of RAM variant. I say there is 4 gig of RAM, 8 gig of RAM, and 16 gig of RAM. There's no such thing as 32 gig of RAM unless you add the 16 gig of, unless you have two
Been
RAM
upgraded.
of 16 gig of
Yes.
RAM.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it's like you upgrade the RAM. So the price, anyone have any idea the range of it? Maybe
I think for 8 gigabyte, I would say like 200 or maybe 150 or something. The range maybe might be 150 to 250 lah. The common
yes,
price.
yes. From my and from what I see, right,
Hmm?
the baseline for the 4 gig, I guess, is like 150 ringgit and above. It's quite pricey,
Oh,
but
quite pricey lah.
That's high.
yes,
Uh,
but it's going to be worth it
mm-mm.
if you upgrade it.
Yep.
So how how do you attach it? Basically, like when there is a slot, right? Like on the picture that I showed you guys earlier, there is a slot. There is a notch actually Alright. Sorry about that.
So
Let
it's
me
okay.
show
It's
it
okay.
again.
You can show us.
So like this one. Yes, like this one.
Okay.
You can see this. There is a like a gap, right? There's a
Mm.
two part in it. So what you have to do to install it is that you have to, but you have to open the white part. This one,
Mhm.
the white part. You have to open it, and then you just slot. You just slot the RAM inside it. But there is you have you only have um, there is only one way to attach it because
Mm.
each side of the RAM there is a different length of it. So there's only one way to attach it. So you don't have to worry about damaging the RAM or else.
Oh, so it will fit lah. It will fit no matter what, right?
As long as
As long as
Yeah,
you
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 attach to
mean they
it
are
in the
all
right
in one
way.
size?
yes, as long
Yes.
as you attach it on the right side.
Okay, I see. I see.
So yes, I think that's all.
That's all
I want to
for
talk
RAM.
about the RAM. Right?
Okay. Okay. Anyone wanna add some information about the RAM? Is there anyone wanna add something?
I
Okay.
think
I
that's
guess there is no more information about it. So we move to the next physical part of computer. Uh, Maybe power supply. Anyone want to talk about
um,
power supply?
I guess I'm the one who will talk about power supply.
All right, let's go, Yusuf.
So first, the power supply is that like a translator that translates all the power that comes from it as an input and
Mm.
give it to the other component. Since all our components needs electricity to properly work. And as an example of this, I'll try to open a slide.
All right.
Can you guys see my slide?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, we
we
can
can.
see.
Yes, we can see it.
This power supply is called switched. This is the common brand or the common type of power supply we tend to commonly to use it.
Oh,
And also it got its name from the switch since it has a switch that can and currently cut off the power cut the power to other components. Also, the other components, one of the other types of power supply is linear and switched. So,
mm.
I can't I can show it because it's kind of not commonly available. I don't have a lot of pictures about it since I don't have it. Also, from the other types, like brands and it, I got confused. Also, most of it comes with a QR code that you can use it in order to authenticate the product. and I guess a lot of manufacturers tend to make this point.
I see.
Because I don't have uh, other informations. Anybody wants to add
Uh,
or ask the question?
I think that's all. Maybe for power supply, I think I don't have
Yes,
anything to
Yes.
add.
since it's not a famous component
Yes,
like
yes.
this,
It's only like a
it just only
common.
act as a translator. Just translates all the parts that comes to it as an input and translate it properly or in the proper load for the other component.
Yep.
So I want to ask something, right? The power supply.
Right.
If you don't have the power supply in the computer, right, it won't load.
Yeah, since it's the major electricity or the major part that gives all the electricity to the other components.
Yeah.
One
So
of the main parts that give bring
because the power supply transfer the electricity, right?
transfer electricity,
Yeah.
yeah, transfer electricity to
Uh,
the other components.
I
I
see. I
see, I
see.
see.
The main source of electricity, I mean.
Yep. That's good. Okay, so I think we move on to the how about CPU cooler? Yes.
Yeah, I'll take over for it.
The
All right.
GPU.
Okay, go on,
So
Kiran.
as its name, CPU cooler already its name is cooler because
Yeah.
CPU is the brain of this whole PCs. So the CPU will create a heat, a temperature which will overheat at a point, and it will shut down the whole PC. So for that, what they have created is a CPU cooler. It is like a heat reduction mechanism lah. So it will control or maintain the temperature of the CPU or the whole PC so that we can run for like 8 hours, 9 hours for the whole production lah.
Right.
As for CPU cooler, there's like two kinds. Actually, we have air cooler and liquid cooler. Let me show you the example.
So the CPU cooler is more expensive, right? In the market
Yeah,
right now.
it's
I
very
think.
expensive.
I think it's.
I think at the
I
end
think
we
it's.
can see what's the prices.
Yeah. I think you can show us the price also.
Yeah. Oh, can you guys see?
Yes, we can see.
So
Yes.
this is one of the type of air cooler where you can see there's like attachment of fan, and in between that both fans we can see this place, right? It's
Yes.
heat sink. Heat
Oh,
sink is a kind of where the temperature will go in through the heat sink, and the fan will just like suck out that heat and push it away from the CPU brain so that it will be cooled down for a long time.
Okay. I see.
And as for liquid cooler, this is one of the liquid coolers example. You can see this line, right? These tube lines.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, these tube lines actually they will run some
it's
kind
a
of liquid.
liquid cooler, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So they will run like a kind of like liquid, which is frozen liquid or like it's a bit cool liquids. It will run through this fan and it will suck out that heat from that CPU so that we can have a longer process of that CPU
So,
so it don't overheat lah.
so there's a specific liquid, right, for the cooler.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have
How about that
specific
one?
which we can't use normal like water solution. We can't use that. They have like a concentrated liquids which has less low density lah. It will just
Oh,
pull up the heats.
I see. I see. Nice.
So more about CPU coolers. I think we have. Okay, let's talk about the installation lah. If for the air cooler, you can see the part of the fan. They have a thermal paste around it,
Yes.
around that CPU. I mean the cooler lah, CPU cooler. Usually, sometimes they have the thermal paste on it, or sometimes we have to apply the thermal paste on it for us to attach on top of CPU.
Yep.
To transfer the heat from the processor or the CPU to the fans, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
from the CPU to the fan lah. So they
Mhm.
will just push out the heat reductions and things. Sometimes they have additional attachments like standoffs for us to give a better grip, so there's no like gaps in between the CPU and the CPU cooler. So they'll have like standoffs for air cooler lah. For liquid cooler, we have three type of things we have to attach. We have backplate. Backplate is a kind of attachment where we have to use that screw and bolt everything into the motherboard onto that CPU so that we can actually attach with no gaps and everything lah. As we see just now, we have radiator and pump, which will pump that liquid to entire PC so that it will run through all the PC to bring out the heat and go to one system where it will cool down the liquid again and it will send back to the PC. It's like a continuous process lah. So as for maintaining the CPU, it's very simple. For air cooler, you just have to clean your fan once a month because the amount of dust will go and stuck there and you need that CPU cooler to be slower down. So your CPU will be heated up if you never clean your fan lah. And for liquid cooler, every 6 months once, I heard that they have to drain out the whole liquid. They have to clean the tubes with a normal water solution. They push out and pump out the water again. Then they'll pour out the new liquid lah. So they have better running. Because if you use that liquid for so long, then it will no function at all.
I see. So
we
you,
have to buy a new liquid, right?
Yeah.
oh,
If we want to
so have to
replace it.
buy the new specific liquid lah.
Yes, because it like our water radiator lah. You have to like process everything,
see.
right?
Hmm.
Same goes to CPU every 6 months or every 1 year once. And for liquid cooler, there's one problem. If they have a leakage or something, you cannot like irreversible. You cannot do anything. The whole PC will be gone. That's why most
Like
of
it will be
the
flooded.
cooler lah for safety side.
Let's see.
Mm.
So it's a bit risky to use
Yeah,
the
liquid cooler is a bit risky.
a bit risky to use. Okay. See.
It's very vulnerable. You can easily break or something else can happen. So you cannot like take back all the
Very fragile. I would say
Yes,
very
true.
fragile. Yeah.
See, Kiran,
Yes, I'm sure.
I think like I want to change
Change what?
change my cooler, right? Currently,
Mhm.
I'm using the fan cooler.
Okay.
So, can I change it to liquid cooler?
If it's PC, yes, you can, but it will cost you more than air cooler lah. Like twice the price of air cooler.
Oh, that's pricey. How
Yeah,
much
it's crazy.
you're talking about?
I guess it's
Okay,
from
let me show
100.
you some renowned CPU coolers lah, for examples. So let's see.
Check Newegg if it's available.
Huh? Yes, it's okay.
Check Newegg if it's available for the prices.
Mm. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So can you see the pictures, the renowned CPU
Yes.
cooler?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, the one on the top, these two top one, this is air coolers. One of the part of air coolers. So even the air coolers also, it's a bit pricey sometimes because of that heatsink and the fan types. The heatsink got different materials actually. They have aluminum, copper, and things. So these prices are according to what item are they using inside that air cooler.
See.
So if like see you have the cheaper 170, they should be using the aluminum type, which will just like very less of heat reduction lah. If you use this Noctua NH, it's like using copper. Your heat it will be better put lah. Okay. As for liquid cooler, you can see this board down. I'm sure as you're saying, like if you want to change, you see the price. It's like 622 and 525.
Quite pricey.
Yeah, it's quite pricey. This is just part of that cooler. We haven't buy the tubes and pumps yet. So around like estimation of like 1,002, 1,003 lah, the entire liquid coolant.
Very pricey.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it's
So-
worth, right?
That's about CPU cooler lah, guys. Any questions or you all are still?
I think I'm very clear about the CPU cooler that you just
There is
said just now.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys? You guys have any question about the CPU cooler?
For now, I don't have
No.
any question.
Alright. So I think we move on to the last one, I guess. Last one, I would say last one inside the PC, inside the common PC, there must be a GPU. But sometimes, sometimes like a notebook, they don't have the GPU. I don't know why, but of course
You
the price
mean the
of the notebook is a bit cheaper than other notebook lah when they don't have the GPU.
you mean the ultrabook or notebook types of laptop? They tend to do not have any type of GPU, or they only have the GPU of the processor. You mean?
Only the GPU, the notebook that don't have GPU. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one is a bit cheaper than the other notebook. So so may I know what GPU you guys have inside your PC?
CPU,
No,
NVIDIA
it's a
also.
graphic card. Yes. What? Nvidia?
NVIDIA
NVIDIA
GeForce
over my
GTX.
first.
Or so you
I'm
guys?
not always remembering my own components actually.
It's okay.
Because there's no sticker on my laptop, so I don't know
I
any.
don't know. Okay, it's okay. So let me explain a bit about the GPU. Okay. So basically, the GPU is a specialized processor. It's like the second, I would say, the second brain of computer that boosts a better performance for the video creation and animation. So I think every single gamer, they must want they must own a GPU for their PC to have a to experience the
Better
better
graphics.
Gaming.
graphics.
Better
Yes,
quality.
yes, better quality. So when you have a GPU, especially when you want to play games, it will boost your FPS. Do you guys know the FPS?
Yes.
Yeah.
Frame per second, right?
Frames per
Yes,
second, I
frame rate per
guess.
second. Yes, nice. That one. So basically, it will make the video smoother. So when the FPS increase, the video will be more smooth. Yes. So basically, that's what GPU does. So there is two types of GPU. The first one is integrated GPU, which is
Uh,
directly on CPU and share the memory with the CPU. Yes, and
and
this
that's on all laptops, I guess.
yes,
Right?
that's one for the old generation integrated GPU. And what we have right now is the discrete GPU. This discrete GPU, they has their own card and memory.
Mhm.
Yes. So I think the famous GPU right now for every gamer is the Nvidia. Wait, let me show you guys.
AMD.
Nvidia RTX
NVIDIA RTX and
3090.
GTX.
Yes, 3090.
Should be expensive.
So yes, this one is
Yes.
very
Yeah,
expensive
that's
lah.
one
I
of
would
the
say. Wait.
I heard
expensive
that
parts of the computer.
everyone line up for that one.
Yes, everyone have been
Even
waiting
Also, there's some
for
rumors
this.
that GPU at times that was used for Bitcoin mining so much that the
Yes,
whole
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
GPU
it's
That's
like
why. That's why
it's
the
like
price
another
of the
computer inside your
GPU
computer.
increase nowadays. It's because of they do the mining.
Bitcoin mining.
Yes, they do the mining on the GPU. Can you guys see it? Yes.
yes, we can.
Yeah, they can see.
This
Yes.
one is RTX 3090. So
It's
I'm not
quite
sure
big.
about the price. I think
I
how
guess
much?
it's a good source to know the prices.
Yes.
Just if you I think you can just click at the
This
shopping
Yeah,
tab.
there's one
Yep.
price
Let me
down
show
there.
you guys. Okay. Okay.
is I see
Yes.
there's
Where is it? Where is
2000.
it? Uh,
Above
Um,
above it.
Oh no.
Mm,
Oh no.
is it this
Oh.
one?
10,000.
Yeah, it's basically above of 10,000 ringgit Malaysian ringgit. Yeah, it's very expensive for those who wants to own this graphic card. Yes. So as someone mentioned just now that I think Varen, you mentioned
Huh?
that the price of the GPU is increasing, right? Nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have some information. Is it big? It is. Why the price of the GPU is increasing is
I
because
mean,
of yes. Do you know why is it increased?
actually,
First,
I didn't know it.
Uh,
it's okay.
this is
Wait,
the crypto mining, I guess,
yeah,
and also
Yes, this is my own personal thing lah, but maybe because of not just that, you also have another demand. So
yeah,
too demand too much more money,
yes.
more selling money.
Yep. So for the first one that you guys mentioned just now, that uh the miners,
crypto.
they use, yes, the crypto, they like the user, I mean us, the miners, they use the bot, okay, they use the bots to buy up as many graphic cards as possible in the market. So for this, like uh for the user that they don't use bot, like they won't stand a chance to get the graphic card. Yes, because of
Good.
these miners. Yeah. And the second one is because the price is high and quite demanding because of the COVID-19 affected the manufacturing and supply chains. So that's why the price is also increased nowadays due to the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. Yes. Mm,
Yes, I guess it's because of the COVID-19, right? Everyone
yeah,
stay in their home
everyone
and they will
Ah,
stay.
play games
Yeah, they
to
need
cure
the
their boredom.
you think
PC.
to play
Everyone
more
needs
a lot of
PC.
games.
Yes, for the entertainment and for their daily works. So they need a PC. Everyone needs a PC. Needs a PC right now because of the pandemic. So anyone wants to add anything? You guys want to say something about the physical parts inside the computer? Anything else?
Yes, I think I want to add some one maybe.
Okay, go on, Amsha.
So it is called a motherboard, right?
All right.
Um, as you as you can see, as you heard, the motherboard it houses a lot of
It's like
computer
the central
Yes.
components.
nervous
Consists
system
of a
of
lot
the
of
computer.
components. Yeah.
Yes, it is
So
big, and it houses computer components such as CPU,
Mm.
RAM, and storage
chipset
element.
of the network card, I guess.
Mm-mm.
Also,
Yes. Um, Actually, the motherboard it acts as a data pass and traffic monitor, which allow other component to communicate efficiently.
they
Mm.
So
tend to hold every component together by
Yeah.
using
Basically,
repeated
yes,
wires.
the motherboard connects every component.
yes,
Yeah,
to
Yes.
save
Inside.
space, as I would say. So the motherboard, I would say, the price. So it's quite cheap actually. It's around 150 ringgit and above for the base model. So there is a lot of brand such as Asus, Samsung, and MSI.
Mm.
So there's a lot of kind of motherboard. Um, the more expensive, the more expensive the motherboard is, the rigid the component of the motherboard. So it is more sturdy and it is way fancier than the base model of the motherboard. So yes, that's all I can say about the motherboard.
So
based on my
altogether,
knowledge.
it's a better the system.
Yes.
Yep. I think that's all we can say
PC.
about the physical parts of computer, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and also before changing any parts, as we mentioned, all the parts, before changing or like installing it, we have to can the wear something like a wrist strap, wrist strap or something rubber strap, because there is charges in our body that can interfere with these components. I don't know if you heard about this before.
I
I see.
think nope. You guys
I
notice
have
about
heard
that?
it because there is charges in our body that can interfere with these components, and that's one of the reasons some manufacturers cover the component in rubber or something like this to block any charges that come inside it.
So it's to protect ourselves, right?
Yeah, it's to protect, yeah, and kind of protect components.
I see.
So
Okay.
thank you for that, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for the info. I
No,
think I haven't noticed that one before. Yeah. So anyone else? Varen, you have anything to say?
Um, what?
Do you have anything to say before we end our discussion?
Um, I suppose we doesn't have anything else. Actually, I don't think there's anything important other than the video, than the
Other
The
than we
basic.
Then
mentioned before,
other
right?
than we discuss.
Yes. Other
yes.
than we discussed, yeah, I think
Everything else we discussed it, right?
Yeah.
Everything, yes, every
I guess
aspect.
everything in terms of physical component. I guess everything we have discussed.
yeah,
That's the most important.
that's the most
Uh,
important inside the PC. Yeah. So
okay.
I guess we all got the benefits of like the function and the price and how to install it. So we have got everything that every we have got the knowledge of the physical part. So I think uh, we end our discussion right here. All right.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
for your sharing. I really appreciate it.
No
All right.
problem. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.